Swamp Izzo. Swamp Izzo. All right, let's get it, fellas. Let's get it, man. This video is going to be about why you need to prioritize yourself as a man. Listen, a lot of the issues that I see men go through is always because they don't prioritize themselves in some form or fashion. Now, I know we always feel like you got to put others first. You know, you want to be the Captain Save a Hole. You want to be a simp. All these other things, and there's really no benefits to it. In today's video, I'm going to go through exactly why. Now, most of you need a wake up call, right? Like we're all conditioned in school, Disney Channel, all that goofy shit, right? To be, oh, let me be a nice guy, let me do this, let me do that. There is literally zero benefits, right? Literally, when you are a nice guy, you're a doormat. The only thing that's gonna happen is people are gonna look at you as, oh, okay, I could take advantage of him. I'm guilty of that too. Sometimes, a nice guy will just like be like, no, no, I'll do this for you, or I'll pay for that, or I'll help you with this, or just they just give handouts and shit, and then I'm like, okay, I guess you feel what I'm saying. Like, I guess you can help me with this and help me with that. You know what I mean? Because I know they're trying to overcompensate. You feel me? And then that same dude will try to ask me for some advice about with chicks and stuff like that. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I text her every day. I brought her flowers on the first day." I'm like, "You're cooked. You're cooked." Right? You have to start paying attention to what people respond to, right? When people respect you, it's not because you're being super nice or being a doormat. Dudes are not going to respect that. Women aren't going to respect if you give them a date and I mean, if you give them flowers and they'd even earn that shit. That shit's just, it's just it comes off as you don't know, how to deal with women, but you also don't know your value, but you also don't have any value, right? Like a lot of times we feel like we're rewarded for being agreeable, right? But in reality, um, like it seems like it, but in real life, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't set your boundaries. When it comes to the fitness journey, why I talk about the fitness journey so fucking much is because that's when you first have to learn how to set your boundaries. Literally, like the first time I ever had to learn how to set boundaries when I was like, okay, I got to eat this, I got to eat that, I got to work out, right? That's the first time people were like, hey, let's go do this, and I was like, nah, I have to go to the gym. They're like, hey, let's eat this, nah, I have to eat this, right? That's the first time I learned how to set boundaries, and then I started doing it at work, I started doing it in relationships, and people respected it more, right? They respected more. Truth is, if you don't prioritize yourself, your health, your vision, your purpose, someone else is gonna assign you a role in their story. You're just gonna be an NPC, bro. Like literally. If you don't if you don't put yourself first, then no one else is gonna put you first, right? You're not gonna be a priority to other people either. You put yourself last, other people are gonna put you last. Why wouldn't they? All right. Like I said, man, we're conditioned by society, all of that shit. You feel me? And not gonna lie, this is what a lot of y'all look like. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna cap. All right. Now, reason number one, you can't lead or provide if you're empty. All right, this is very, very obvious. My favorite example is we see this shit on the airplane, right? They say put your mask on first before you put the kids' mask on first. Why? Because if you die, they die. But if you save yourself first, then you can save them, right? And a lot of people don't understand that concept. They're like, no, no, I want to help others. I want to do this. I want to do that. You help others when you become the best version of yourself because you're going to not only inspire others, but you're going to give other people the best version of yourself. Like, for example, if you have a family, right? And I see this shit a lot. I see a lot of people like, oh, well, you're talking like you don't have kids. I'm like, nigga, if you got fucking kids, you better be locked in and focused on yourself so you can inspire them and give them good habits. A lot of you guys blame your kids for all these reasons as if you didn't have them. Who the fuck had your kids for you? You did. All right. You decided to have that kid. So what you need to do is make sure you inspire them and lead them. All right. Which means you need to pour into yourself. You shouldn't be another fat dad out of shape, just worried about your sports team, and then your kid's gonna be fat too because he's just picking up on your habits, and then he's gonna go to the doctor, and they're gonna be like, depending on where the doctor is, if it's like a really like, liberal town or some shit, they'll be like, oh my gosh, obesity is genetic. He's gonna take Ozempic at age 8 or some shit like that, and it's all because of you. Then your wife's probably gonna be cheating on you because you're fat as shit and you're only paying attention to your sports team. So it's literally in your best interest to make sure that you prioritize yourself, you take care of yourself, because all your habits are going to be passed down. So it's even more important when you have kids. All right, all that stuff like, oh, I don't have time because I have kids. How can you, if you don't have time, how can you be fat as fuck, bro? Like, if you have kids and you don't have time, you should be lean as shit because you're just not eating any food, right? How are you binge eating and you have kids? Are you eating their food or some shit? You're probably eating all their fucking snacks. All right. If you want to protect, provide, and lead, like one thing you'll realize is all those things, it takes a lot of work on your own part, right? It takes a lot of work working on yourself, right? Learning all that shit, right? Learning how to provide, learning how to earn, learning how to maintain, learning how to invest, all right? And then protecting, learning how to fight, learning how to, handle a gun, learning a lot of situations, self defense. All that shit takes time and takes energy. And you can't get good at those things if you don't pour into yourself and take the time to do those things. So, you have to become someone worth following first. And that's what a lot of you guys, that goes into all aspects of life as well. A lot of you guys ask me stuff about like, hey, how do you build your social media? This sentence is for you. You have to become someone or something worth following first, right? Like literally, like you guys would be like, "Hey, why is anyone following me?" You're chopped. All right, very very simple. And I'm not saying you're chopped like genetically. I'm saying the way you present yourself is chopped. You're not getting haircuts. You're not lean. You think you are, but you're not even close. All right, go get a body fat test. It's gonna say 25%. All right, you don't have any skills. You don't take clear pictures. Simple shit, man. Simple shit. But listen, we all know that self-sacrifice might seem noble, but it leads to burnout. You're gonna be pissed at people and you're gonna be depressed. Simple. All right, one more thing, man. You're gonna build a lot of respect when you respect yourself. Because if you don't respect yourself, how can you expect other people to respect yourself? You see, to respect you, I mean. You see what I'm saying? Like, when people see you and you're lean, they're gonna be like, oh, this nigga takes care of himself. You see what I'm saying? Like, this nigga hits the gym. This nigga actually watches what he eats. Let me repeat that. This nigga actually watches what he eats. He takes care of his body. He has pride in himself. So, let me treat him the way he treats himself. That's how people are gonna look at you. All right. People are going to look differently at you. All right. Another thing is, not only does it build self respect, but that you keeping promises to yourself, you're not breaking promises to yourself. That increases obviously your self discipline and your confidence. All right. So super fucking important. All right. And like I said, this shit all starts with fitness. Fitness is the gateway to discipline and success. All right. So when I see motherfuckers fat as shit and they're complaining about some shit, it stems from their lack of consistency. All right. No, no, you don't have a genetic condition. There's no fucking genetic condition. You don't have that shit. All right. Now, if someone has it, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, I have it," but I don't make that an excuse. You don't have a genetic condition. You literally just eat a bunch of cookies. All right, simple shit. But yeah, you're gonna gain confidence from confiding in yourself and doing what you say you're gonna do over and over again, no matter how you feel, bro. All right. Like I said earlier, the world is gonna treat you how you treat yourself. You treat yourself like shit. You look like shit. Why would you expect the world to treat you better than you treat yourself? You see what I'm saying? When you rise the standard for yourself, other people are gonna raise the standards of you too. Because you can't put standards on other people that you don't put on yourself. I always see people like, man, I want my friends to get lean. I'm like, nigga, you're fat as fuck. You need to get lean first. That shit happens. I see that shit so much. I see people be like, man, I just want my friends to get lean. How about you, bro? Take care of yourself first. Matter of fact, if you were lean, you wouldn't have the same friends. You see what I'm saying? But the only reason you have those friends is because you track what you are, right? So only reason you have the out of shape friends is because you're out of shape too, right? That's why you guys attract to each other. Like that's why you guys are hanging out because you guys have similarities. If you're lean, you would look at them and you'd be like, okay, we have no similarities. They obviously eat cookies all day and don't go to the gym, and I go to the gym and I don't eat cookies. You see what I'm saying? So people can also sense when you're on a mission. They could like sense the aura, like when you're dedicated, you're on a mission. Like that's one of the things that like really like you get like a lot of choosing signals, but you'll like get a lot of conversations start. People will start conversations with you too when they see you're on a mission. Especially, listen, if you're in like a party town or you're up at party hours and you're doing like working out, because I'd be doing that shit. I'd be up at like party hours, but I'd be working out, and people are just like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?" Like, and they're always like, "Yo, so like, what's your Instagram?" Because they already know, because they see I'm lean. They're like, "Yo, this nigga got to be somebody, bro. Ain't no fucking way." Because I'm walking purposeful. I'm going to the. This happens every time I go to like 7-Eleven to grab I grab some coffee and some water before the gym. I always go there. People are always like, "What the fuck are you doing? Not getting beer, bro? Like, what's going on?" Everyone else is drinking beer, bro. Like 99% of other people are drinking beer. It's like me and two other people in the gym, right? Locked the fuck in. People could just sense that shit. They're always like, "Yo, what the fuck is he doing?" You see what I'm saying? And dudes always be with their girls. They both be drunk, and the girls always looking at me and like feeling on me and shit. And I'm like, you can't just like fucking. Well, anyways, um, yeah. When you stop asking for permission to improve, the world adjusts to your new standard. So what that means, guys, is when you raise your standard, right, everything else is gonna fall in line. All right. But if you keep your standards low, then you're gonna keep getting horrible results. But if you're like, yo, I want to be lean, I want better friends, I want to make more money, I want, more beautiful women, I want women who respect me. Then you got to respect yourself first. That's where it starts from. All right. It literally fixes everything. Another thing you're gonna stop doing is resenting others. Listen, a lot of you guys, this is what y'all be doing. Y'all be commenting some goofy shit. Remember, hate comes from below. So when you're not working on yourself, when you're not prioritizing yourself, you're pretty much below most dudes. All right, you're gonna be average, which means you're gonna be below a lot of dudes. All right, simple. So that's why every time I get a comment, I already know you're fat as shit. Like when someone's like, "Oh, why do you have your shirt off in the thumbnail?" I'm like, if you were lean, you would have your shirt off in the thumbnail, and you would have a profile picture. They don't got a profile picture because they're fat as shit. All right, they hate what they see in the mirror, so they're like, "Oh, fuck this guy," and shit like that. Or they'll say some shit like, "Oh, your audio's not good," or some shit. Nigga, did you hear me or not? Right? The thing is, are you gonna take my advice? Probably not, because you're still fat after you watch the video. All right, simple shit. But listen, when you start prioritizing yourself, you're gonna realize like, because I used to be a hater too. All right. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be a motherfucking hater. Right. I used to be a hater. I used to be a hater. I used to type shit. But then I was like, yo, what am I doing? Right. I used that energy and I started actually working on myself and I started making improvements. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if I stop hating, I actually do some shit. I actually do the work. I'm gonna see the fucking results. You see what I'm saying? So self-prioritization kills quiet resentment and makes you a better man in every relationship, man. Like you're gonna stop hating. I used to even hate on my brother. I was like, yo, that nigga just got good genetics. This shit ain't fair. And then I started putting in the work, and I'm like, oh, okay, I could get lean too. Okay, you see what I'm saying? That's why when people say, oh, you just got good genetics. I'm like, you're just dumb as fucking lazy all the time. Like when I really break down a lot of people's habits and I see what they're doing, I'm like, yo, if you took your resentment and you poured it into doing the basic things. When I say basic things, you drink a gallon of water, you're eating a calorie deficit high protein, and you strength train. That's all you got to do. All right, that's all you got to do. You do that shit, and you'll look 30 times better, and you'll be like, oh, well, I should stop hating on people because I have potential. You see what I'm saying? All right. Here are the action steps to actually start prioritizing yourself. All right. I'm gonna say right off rip, the biggest one is reading and nutrition, and then of course gym and sleep. But all this requires the mindset of you prioritizing yourself, all right? Because if your friends come from out of town and they're like, hey man, let's go drinking, and you go drinking, now you're gonna fuck up, your nutrition probably, and you fuck up your sleep, and then it's gonna fuck up you going to the gym, and then you're probably not gonna read because you didn't do the other things, right? And you feel like shit, and then you get into that cycle. You also want to write down goals, but also have like a vision board. Like, what kind of man do you want to be 1 year from now? All right, 6 months to a year could change your life, man. It's just up to you to change it. No one, it's up to no one else, right? It's not up to your girlfriend, not up to your mom, not up to your wife. It's up to you to change your life, right? And learn to say no without guilt. Obviously, saying no to others is often saying yes to yourself. So it's like if you want to progress, you have to be consistent. If you want to be consistent, you have to set boundaries. If you want to set boundaries, you have to say no. You have to say no a lot. Like I used to say, listen, I used to sound like an asshole, but when it really comes down to it, it allowed me to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish, right? So, for example, like at work, I was like, yo, I'm not working, more than these hours. Do not call me on my off days. So I would block them on my off days and then come back in. They're like, yo, you didn't answer the phone call. I was like, yeah, don't fucking call me on my off days. All right. I'm here. I'm gonna work my hours and I'm getting out of here. All right. I'm not a slave to this place. And, I don't even know the CEO of this place. You guys don't know the CEO of this place. The CEO of this place doesn't give a fuck about any of us. So I'm not gonna bust my ass and put my goals on the back burner and I don't even know who the fucking CEO is. You see what I'm saying? I get sick and they replace me in 1 second. So it's like I put myself first so I can accomplish what I need to accomplish. And then another thing is you got to put yourself first so you can keep your health. Like keeping your health intact is work. It is work. But once you prioritize yourself and you have your routine and you have the mindset, then it's going to be easier for you to be consistent and actually, put yourself first. All right. And one of the things you also want to do is your mental diet's gonna be important as well. So cut out distractions. Distractions. Don't limit toxic people. Just fucking cut them off, man. Like you guys need to cut off these toxic people. Like, no, I know them since third grade. Who gives a fuck? It's about quality, not quantity. Like that shit's dumb. Literally the dumbest thing. I listen. I do not conversate with people who say stuff like, "Oh yeah, I would cut him off, but I know him since ninth grade. Like that's my boy. I can't leave him like that." Why are you being loyal to someone who brings you down? That means you are determined to be dysfunctional, right? You're dedicated to your dysfunction. Like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Anyways, one more thing. When you first start this journey, right? And then through the journey as well, people are not gonna understand this shit. All right, they'll be like, man, that nigga's arrogant, bro. He never goes out, man. Oh, he can't hang out with us anymore. All that goofy shit. That's just people below you are complaining. Anybody above you would be like, dude, proud of what you're doing, man. Keep going, man. You got a bright future ahead. That's what successful people say. That's what winners say. All right. The truth is, most people fear someone who chooses themselves, right? Because it really projects onto them like their own lack of discipline. It exposes their lack of discipline, and they project onto you. That's what's really going on, right? That's why people are so uncomfortable when you're healthy and they haven't seen you in a while. They're like, oh wow, here you go eating that little cute ass food, bro, trying to be cute. If someone says that shit to me, I'll tell them shut the fuck up, bro. And they need to eat what I'm eating because they're fat as shit, like straight up, bro. Because that's what they're basically like. Never let someone put you down when you're doing what you need to do and they're not doing what they need to do. Like since one was since one was eating basic regular food, right? One was that a diet, and one was eating colorful Skittles and goofy shit regular. This shit doesn't make any sense. All right, that's why they have diabetes and you don't. Simple. Type 2, not type 1. Don't play with me. All right, but yeah, remember this is your life, no one else. All right, no one else's. So if someone is like, "Yo, can you help me out? This is that." If you help them out before you help yourself and you give them all your money, right? they're not going to pay you back, bro. So now you're cooked. You see what I'm saying? So you have to put yourself first. You're responsible for you. Take care of yourself first, then take care of others, right? Give back to others, but you'll have more to give back and you'll have more value if you put yourself first. Simple. Discord is in the description. Link for training in the description if you're locked in. Listen. Oh yeah, for the link for training, man. None of that goofy shit. Listen, if you're I'm gonna tell you this one more time. If you're out of shape, it's because you don't prioritize fitness. If you set up a call and you're not on the call within the first 30 seconds, I am not working with you because that is the reason you are out of shape because you don't take your fitness goals seriously. I've had some people, they set up a call, they're 15, 30, 45 minutes late. Listen, like I said, after the first minute, I'm off the call. All right. Because if you're not there, if you're coming 30 minutes late to a call that has to do with fitness, that's why you're fat as hell because you don't prioritize that shit. Simple.